Sea otters are the largest group of the weasel family, yet one of the smallest in the marine group. They are scientifically called the anhydrolutus. Otters are small marine mammals which are warm-blooded creatures that secrete milk for their young and give birth. They have been considered an endangered species since 1977.
Sea otters live in mostly shallow coastal waters. Some of their habitats occur in small torrential mountain streams with dense rainforests, rocky seashore with lots of seaweed plantation, tropical rivers with slow currents, sandy sea bottoms, and freshwater rivers, along with finding refuge on the cove and riverbank.
Areas are occupied in Argentina, Colombia, Chile, and the northern Pacific regions such as Northern California and in the Alaskan Peninsula.
These mammals mark their territory with strong scent glands involving urine and feces to claim their spot and keep intruders away. They also take shelter in rocks and driftwood either on the shallow water or on the coast. Each habitat consists of a group of 4 to 8 consisting of family and non-family members and a dominant male sea otter.
Sea otters eat 25% of their weight in food daily, and they have a pretty flexible food nutrition. They eat urchins, abalone, mussels, crabs, clams, snails, frogs, crayfish, insects, eels, and some birds by snaring their prey with their jaws and webbed claws.
Sea otters have really good fur and don't have blubber. A fat marine animals have directly underneath their skin to keep them warm. This dense fur keeps them warm and is known to have one of the densest and warmest coats in the whole animal kingdom. It is made up of 2 layers which are waterproof and another short, thick layer underneath.
Mating season usually occurs from January to April. The male will swim around and spot a female otter in estrus, a recurring period of sexual receptivity. The males are polygamous, which means that they can have multiple female mates. The females can give birth any time of the year and can produce 1 offspring. They can hold their baby in their womb for approximately 6 months, and it takes 4 months for the baby to fully develop. Sea otters can also give birth to twins every 6 to 8 months. The mother otters usually gives birth in the most opportune time when the food is abundant.
Now you're probably asking, why should we protect these animals? Well, see for yourself.
They are preyed by great white sharks, killer whales in the northern Pacific and southern oceans, and most importantly,
you may be surprised why humans are one of the biggest factors of killing sea otters from 1740 to 1990. Sea otters are ruthlessly killed for their pelts, used for clothing such as coats. The fur trade in 1950 to 1965, 50,000 pelts were sold and exported globally.
We are competing with the sea otters for food such as algae, fish, clams, and they end up getting stuck in our fishing nets and traps. They are invading space in the ocean and on land, so we take away their habitat, causing them to relocate to less vulnerable areas.
Another huge factor that is causing the extinction of sea otters is pollution, a substance that brings harm or poisonous effects along with oil spills. These oil spills have caused sea otters' fur to mat and death from hypothermia, an illness that causes abnormally low body temperature along with causing damage to their livers, kidneys, lungs, and eyes.
The other threat factor are diseases and infections that are in the water. In California, parasites and infections from the water cause 40% of their deaths. Hundreds of sea otters have succumbed to the parasites and have died quickly today. These parasites are known as Toxoplasma gondii and Sacrotis neurona are usually.
Sea otters have a special niche, which is a vital role in the ecosystem. They use their forepaws to turn over rocks underwater to get more food and keep up with their metabolism, which is a chemical process to maintain life.
If sea otters die, there will be an overproduction of food in kelp forests. Sea otters keep the population down by taking the nutrients in the forest, maintaining their health, and balancing out the.
In 1911, the community had to sign the International First Seal Treaty in order to maintain and save the pelts, so the Alaska Commercial Company declared the.
In 1970, sea otters were listed under the Marine Mammal Protection and were announced as an endangered.
Many people have created conservationist groups. The Southern Sea Otter Research Alliance involves many universities and research groups that collaborate on research. These institutions, with the help of organizations in the state, have established an effective research program who focuses on conservation and the recovery of sea otters.
Due to the fur trade, there is a decreased amount of sea otters. Worldwide, there are about 100,000 sea otters and 3,000 remaining in the Pacific coast.
We need you to help us save the sea otters. What you can do to help preserve these creatures is by not eating certain seafood. You can recycle so waste do not enter the coastal waters that can cause disease or pollute the waters. Dispose of hazardous waste appropriately, and especially be conscious of what you flush down the toilet because it all leads to rivers, streams.
Created using Powtoon.